Hi guys, I want to tell you about my weekend because I had the best weekend ever. Last Saturday, I went to the Mid-Ohio Comic-Con. They have it here in Columbus. I guess it's an every year thing. This is the first year I heard about it. But it's at like our convention center in downtown Columbus. And it was amazing. I was gonna go with my friend Emily, but then I ended up going with my sister and then my friend Christian. Because she came up from her house, spent the weekend, and we all went to Comic-Con on Saturday, and it was so great. I dressed up as, well, it was just a Whora's uniform from the original series, and I got, like, boots and everything. Then my sister, Sarah, she dressed up as Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, and then Christian, she ended up doing Wolverine from, well, X-Men comics. And so we went there, and I think we got there at about 1 on Saturday, and I had no idea what to expect because I'd never been to anything like this before. I'd seen some videos and like different pictures from Comic-Con and just advertisements on TV, or like I looked up like videos of panels from like people from Star Trek or whatever, but I had no idea really what to expect, especially since it is like Mid-Ohio Comic-Con, so I didn't expect it to be very big. I didn't really know how many people would be dressing up. I wasn't really sure who exactly would be there. I did know that Patrick Stewart was there, and Norman Reedus from Boondock Saints and Walking Dead. I knew he was there because my sister Sarah really likes him. And then John Delancey, who played Q, and then a couple other people. Val Kilmer was there. But beyond that, I didn't really know what to expect. So we went there, and it was actually a lot bigger than I had imagined it would be, because it was like a decent-sized area. There are a lot of people there. I don't know, maybe like, I'm not good at numbers, but there are a lot of people there. And we were walking around, and it was really cool costumes, and we did a lap of the room once. And we were walking down the middle, and I realized that we were like in like the autograph zone where the different people had different booths. And I looked over, and it was Patrick Stewart. I was like, I stopped walking, I was like, oh my god, it appears to be Patrick Stewart. And like, I was freaking out, because I knew he was going to be there, but looking at the schedule, like, it had different times for them, and his ended at 1:45, we got there at like 2, but I'm pretty sure that those were just like the photograph times of when they would actually be there for photo ops in the little booths, but they were there for autographs all day, so I was like freaking out. I was so excited, and like I took a picture. It came out really blurry. I'm gonna do like a little thing of like a photo montage at the end of this, so I'll show you the first picture that I took of him. And this guy was like, yeah, you can't take pictures, and he was like, I know, I just wanted to take one, and it came out really blurry, but I was so excited. Well, my sister, she got to see Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, and she was really excited about that. And then my friend Christian loves X-Men, so she was all excited, like, it's Professor X. I was like, that's Picard, it's not Professor X. But, so we walked around a couple times, and it was really cool. I'm not really into comic books, so I didn't really know who a lot of the people there were, because maybe like a third or a half of the space was just taken up by comic book artists. And I didn't really know who many of those were. There were the autographs, there were the comic book artists, and then there were a lot of booths set up just to sell stuff, and that probably made up the majority of it. But like sorry, I was like freaking out the entire time I was there. I was just so excited. It was just me like this, except times 10. It was really cool because I was looking around the different booths for sale. We actually came across this life-size Dalek from Doctor Who. Like, I love Doctor Who, so I was really excited about that. I got a picture with that. And, like, my friend Christian bought some little, like, Star Trek action figures for her, or Star Wars action figures for her little brother. And then I actually ended up getting these earrings. I'm gonna grab them real quick, just a second. I got Star Trek earrings. They're so cool. I don't know if you can see it very well, but they have like little symbol inside. And I don't know, because I was sitting at this booth and I was looking at, it was a Doctor Who booth, and they had like TARDIS earrings, they had the comic books from the Doctor Who and Next Generation crossover. They had everything you could think of Doctor Who related. They had like the series and stuff, but then they had like a cookie jar of the TARDIS, they had earrings, they had necklaces, keychains, they had everything. And this woman standing next to me, she holds these up and she said that you should get these, they match your outfit, because I had the dress on with like the little emblem on it. I was like, oh my god, I have to get these. So that ended up being my souvenir from Comic-Con. The best part, well, we went to we actually ended up going to the Patrick Stewart and the John Delancey panel, because I think that was at, I think it was at 3, so we ended up standing in line for about an hour to get into that, which that wasn't long of a time, because the line was really long, and we got a decent seat. It was really cool, though, because Patrick Stewart talked for a while, and then John Delancey came on, then they talked for a while, and then Patrick Stewart left, and it was just John Delancey. And I'd never been to anything like that before, so I wasn't really sure how it would work. It's pretty much just Patrick Stewart describing his morning, because he's like, yeah, it's my first time in Columbus, like, I got up early and I took a walk, and he was just talking about the different things that he saw that he liked about Columbus. I don't know, he was pretty much just rambling, and then at one point he took off his sweater, and he was like, or he took off his jacket, he's like, my sweater is stained, like, I'm human, I'm just like you. It's cool, because, like, I, hadn't really, seen many, Patrick Stewart interviews. He actually seems like a really cool guy. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I imagined he would be awesome, obviously. But he was actually a pretty cool guy. And he took some questions from the audience. And people, I was surprised, not a lot of people asked questions. I didn't really have anything that I wanted to ask. But, there aren't really many things to ask at this point, I don't think. Because, he's been around and people have, been a fan of his and of John Delancey's for so long that there's not really many things to ask. It's so how did you feel about working on Star Trek? Anything you want to know, you could find or just pretty much, assume. So, not very many people ask questions, but it's pretty much just him and John Delancey just talking, and it was just, I don't know, it was really cool, because, I don't know, this whole time I was, snapping pictures constantly, and they all came out pretty blurry. I'll put those up at the end, too. But it was a really, really cool thing. So, I want to talk about the costumes, because there are a lot of really cool costumes, but I'm going to do, the video, or the photo thing now, and I'm just going to show you some of the really cool costumes that we saw, and some pictures of Patrick Stewart, picture of me. Oh, there was a woman dressed up as a Klingon there. I got a picture of her, so I'm just going to roll that now and stop rambling. This is just a collection of some of my favorite pictures that we took. This is us in our costumes before we left. This guy is Nightcrawler from X-Men. I thought he did a really good job with his face tattoos. They actually looked realistic. There were a good number of X-Men people there, because this guy is Cyclops. We saw him towards the end. And there's actually a lot of Star Wars, because I think that person in the background is from the Phantom Menace. And then we saw these 2 stormtroopers, and they were really cool. And then I'm pretty sure these are all 4 Boba Fett. I'm not really sure, because they're all kind of different. I was surprised at the number of women who were dressed up as Loki, because there are at least 4 or 5, and there weren't any men dressed up as Loki. But out of the, maybe 5 people, hers was the best. Of course, I had to take a picture of the Ghostbusters car. I honestly do not know what this thing is. It was walking around, there's actually a person in it. But if any of you have any idea what it is, let me know, because I really want to know. It was just, I had absolutely no clue. The Dalek was right next to the Doctor Who booth where I got my earrings, and it was really cool because the head moved around, and then the plunger moved, and you can see how big it is. I mean, I'm short, I'm 5'3", but it was taller than I was. This guy's from Watchmen, I think. I haven't actually seen Watchmen, but he had a pretty neat costume. This is my favorite picture, because I was so excited that I got to take a picture with her, because she was the only woman dressed up as she was only the person dressed up as a Klingon there. And she was actually really cool. I talked to her for a minute, but I was really excited that I got this picture. And then this guy was dressed up as Captain Ohio as opposed to Captain America, and he was really into it. He was cheering OHIO, which is a thing that we do here in Ohio, and we saw him the entire time. This is by far one of the 2 best costumes there. This is Predator, and he did such a good job with his costume. I don't even know how long it took. He was 7 foot tall, and he was perfect. And then later on, towards the end, we saw him with Alien, and that was a really good costume too. So they were probably the 2 best there. And it was really neat because they ended up together and actually got a picture of both of them. This is the first picture that I took of Patrick Stewart when we were in the autograph area. And I just wanted to take one really fast because I wasn't sure if we could actually see him later or get into the panel. But then when we did, these came out clear. I think
these are probably the best ones that I have, because I went through, they were all zoomed in a lot because we were further back, we were about halfway back in the room, but I was pretty happy with how they came out, and this whole time I was just so excited, because I was trying not to get my hopes up, because I wasn't sure if we would actually get to see him, or if we could get to the panel, so when we actually got there, I freaked out. I was so excited to be there.
So yeah, that pretty much sums up the Mid-Ohio Comic Con. I obviously didn't get to talk about everything or show you all the pictures, but I think you get the gist of it. I would really recommend you guys going if you ever get the chance to go to any Comic Con, because I was thinking that it wouldn't be that big of a deal since we are in Ohio and it's obviously not one of the more popular Comic Cons, but it was a lot more fun than I expected because I was trying not to get my hopes up. But it actually turned out to be really cool. So if you guys have, well, if you've been to a Comic-Con, I would love to hear about your story. It's like, leave a comment or message me. I would love to, like, talk to anyone about their experiences at Comic-Con. And if you haven't been to one, I would definitely recommend that you check it out because it was definitely worth it.